Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saguna Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidamscha Om Agyana Timarandasya Gyana Jana Shalakaya Chakshurun militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Supurakam Gurganana Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Bhatanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwa Gurun Shah Divyad Bhagavat Prem Noemi Japranam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavananam Balarka Chilanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sareka Varanam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Mandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishwara Sridharam Mansha Kalpatarub Yasya Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Prabhupada. This is Madhya-lila chapter 13, the Lord's dancing at Ratha-yatra. Okay? So I'll start with text number 120 of Nachite Nachite Prabhur Hoila Bhavantar Hastatuli Shloka Pare Kori Uchaishwar. While Mahaprabhu was dancing, his ecstasy changed. Raising his two arms, he began to recite the following verse in a loud voice. Yo Komara Harasa Eva Ivaras Ta Eva Chaitra Chapas Te chon milita malati surabaya proda karambanila sa chaivashmi tatapi tatra surata vyapara lila vido reva rodasi vedasi taru tale cheta samutkantate. Now here the translation is, that very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. Now, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
Now, Srila Sridhar Maharaj has, I've heard his from others his comments on this verse. So first thing to understand, it says that verse, that very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. Now the first thing to understand is this verse is being expressed from the feminine point of view. It's not a man speaking who's saying this verse. The speaker of this verse is a woman. And it's a woman, she's thinking about the person that she met some time ago, the first person she loved. And it says, that very personality who stole away my heart during my youth. Srila Sridhar Maharaj says that's not exactly the translation. The translation, he said, is that very personality who stole my youth is now again my master. So, if a woman says that somebody was her first lover and stole her youth, that has a different meaning, So that's the first thing. Then these are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra, the same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. So what is the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree? That refers to where the speaker, where she was with her lover when they first met. Under the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. Now, Mahaprabhu is singing or saying this verse during the Ratha-yatra festival. Nobody can understand. Nobody could understand what is he talking? What is he referring to? He's saying this verse, which is expressed from a feminine point of view, and he's dancing, raising his arms and singing that. What is the meaning? You know, not everybody could understand that meaning. A shloka Mahaprabhu pade bar bar swarup bina arta keho na jane ihar. This verse was recited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again, but for Swarup Damodar, no one could understand its meaning. Okay, a shlokarta purve kori jache bhyakyan shlokara bhavarta kori sankepe yakyan. I have already briefly explained this verse. Now I shall simply describe it in brief. Purve jaiche kuruketre sab gopigan Krishna darshanapaya ananditaman. Formerly, all the gopis of Vrindavan were very pleased when they met with Krishna in the holy place of Kurukshetra. Now, the place of Kurukshetra, the residents of Vrindavan, the gopis, they went to Kurukshetra years after Krishna had left Vrindavan. And he promised he would return there, but he didn't return to Vrindavan. He did send Uddhava, and Baladev returned to Vrindavan, but Krishna himself didn't go back there. But later, during the time of a solar eclipse, they all went to Kurukshetra, and Krishna met with all the residents of Vrindavan and the gopis and Srimati Radharani. And actually, the expression of this verse, let's see, this expression of this verse in this part of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's not given. It's given when Rupa Goswami goes and meets with Mahaprabhu. Then he explains what that verse is. So, since we have Tyagi Maharaj here, I'll let him say the verse that Rupa Goswami composed, which actually gives the meaning of this verse. Oh, okay.
Which verse number?
121. Now we're going on to 122. Do you know that verse? No. Okay. Well, if this wire will stretch, I'll find that verse. It should be in Madhya-lila, volume 1. I don't know here. I didn't see where the verse is given, but I'm going to give that verse. I have this. What? Okay. I was meeting with Srila Rupa Goswami. And I'm sorry for this delay, but Kumara is explaining this verse, Kumara. Huh? Madhya 176. Okay, but I thought it was also an Antya one where Mahaprabhu meets with Rupa Goswami. It's Madhya 1. Madhya, the first. Okay. Madhya 1?
Yes.
Volume 1. First chapter?
Yes.
In 76? Okay. Because it was, okay, the parallel verse written by Rupa Goswami what is the meaning of this verse, that very personality who stole away my youth is now again my master. The parallel meaning, or given meaning by only Swarup Damodar knows, but Rupa Goswami he also knows this, and he wrote, Priya soyam Krishna sahachari kuruketras militas tataham sat radha tadidam ubayo sangama sukam tatapi anta kelan madhura murali panchamajushe manome kalindi pulina vipinaya spriyayati. And that is, this is a verse spoken by Srimati Radharani. My dear friend, now I have met my very old and dear Krishna on this field of Kurukshetra. I am the same Radharani, and now we are meeting together. It is very pleasant, but still I would like to go to the bank of the Yamuna beneath the trees of the forest there. I wish to hear the vibration of his sweet flute playing the fifth note within that forest of Vrindavan. So that's the meaning of this verse, and that was explained by Srila, that has been explained by Srila Rupa Goswami. But the actual verse, the original verse that Mahaprabhu is singing with his arms raised during Ratha-yatra, no one can so much understand. That's Yokomara harasa eva ivaras ta eva chaitra chapas te chonmilita malati surabaya Proda kadambanila satchaivasmi tatapi tatra surata vyapara lila vido reva rodasi vedasi tarutale cheta samutkantate. That very person who stole my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. So that Mahaprabhu is singing this verse during Ratha-yatra is it's mystifying. Nobody can understand why he's doing that. Why in Ratha-yatra, when the whole procession parade with Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, 14 mridangas, and so much, sound is going on, and devotees dancing in there. Why Mahaprabhu is singing this verse? This verse was recited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again, but for Swarup Damodar, no one could understand its meaning. I have already explained this verse. Now I shall simply describe it in brief. So the explanation also we just heard of Rupa Goswami explaining that verse. Purve jajche kuraketre sab gopigan krishnara darshanapaya ananditaman. Formerly all the gopis of Vrindavan were very pleased when they met with Krishna in the holy place Kurukshetra. Jagannath Deki Prabhur se baba utila se baba vishtohoya duya kaljaila. Similarly, after seeing Lord Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awoke with the ecstasy of the gopis. Being absorbed in this ecstasy, he asked Swarup Damodar to sing the refrain. So, also what's to be understood is that Ratha-yatra is going on, and the deities leave Nilachala, the temple of Lord Jagannath. In that temple of Nilachala is Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. So that temple is, we can say, like Dwarka. It's Dwarka. Subhadra never was in Vrindavan. She was never in Vrindavan, but she was in Dwarka. So it's Krishna, Baladev, and Subhadra together. They were in Dwarka after Krishna left Vrindavan. He went to Dwarka, Mathura and Dwarka. So the mood is being expressed here of seeing Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra come in Ratha-yatra, but they're coming from the temple. They're coming from the temple of Jagannath Puri, which is Dwarka, and the mood is to take Krishna to Vrindavan. The Gundicha temple is Vrindavan. And they're going from, But the mood of Mahaprabhu was always to take Krishna to Vrindavan. That we understand. But also, the mood of Mahaprabhu, seeing Lord Jagannath on the cars and everything, is like, here is expressed a meeting with Krishna in Kurukshetra, because in the meeting with Krishna later, because Krishna's not with a flute, he's not, dressed as a cowherd boy, he's just dressed as a prince or a king. And that was the actual, we could say, what happened. And then here's the expression. Sri Chaitanya Abba se she Radha Krishna Kore Nivedan se Tumi se Ami se Navasangam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke thus to Lord Jagannath. You are the same Krishna and I am the same Radharani. We are meeting again in the same way that we met in the beginning of our lives. And that is Kurukshetra. They're not, Krishna is not in Vrindavan. Tatapi Amar Mana Kore Vrindavan, Vrindavane Uday Karo Apana Charan. Although we are both the same, my mind is still attracted to Vrindavan Dham. I wish that you will please again appear with your lotus feet in Vrindavan. Ihan Lokaranya Hati Goda Ratadwani Tahan Pushparanya Bringa Pikad Nadashuni. In Kurukshetra, there are crowds of people, elephants and horses, and also the rattling of the chariots. But in Vrindavan, there are flower gardens, and the humming of the bees and the chirping of the birds can be heard. So in other words, the environment of their meeting again later is completely different. It's not Vrindavan, it's Kurukshetra. There are people, because Krishna is now coming as a prince. There are horses and elephants and rattling of chariots, and Krishna is not dressed as a cowherd boy, so it's very much different. But Radharani is seeing Krishna in this atmosphere. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj, they have explained this meeting is one of extreme, we can say, separation. Because Krishna is so close, but at the same time there's so much distance. Because, from the description, everything is different. Then Guru Maharaj, we heard that Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, what was his quote about? He said that the real place of bhajan, the real place of worship, is Kurukshetra, not Vrindavan. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, at one point, he said, Vrindavan is for shallow thinkers, which is completely, we can't understand, we wouldn't be able to understand Srila Saraswati Thakur saying, Vrindavan is for shallow thinkers. We think, Vrindavan is the maximum. It's like the place of the Lord's appearance, but Srila Saraswati Thakur said, Vrindavan is for shallow thinkers. And we have also seen that many people go to Vrindavan and they take it like they're going on a vacation or going to some festival. Is that true? Yeah, we don't see the intensity. We don't even see the intensity of the worship of Navadip. They're often in Vrindavan. People have a different mood in going there. It's like going there almost as tourist. So Srila Saraswati Thakur did say, in that sense, with that mentality, Vrindavan is a place for shallow thinkers. He said the real place of bhajan will be Kurukshetra. Why? Because the mood of separation is so strong in Kurukshetra. One example that Srila Sridhar Maharaj gave, which we can state here, he says it's like in a football game. He says if the football goes very close to the goal, but it doesn't cross, it again goes back. He says that is a feeling, such a strong feeling that, the ball goes right to the goal, but it doesn't cross, it goes back. And he says that's the kind of feeling that one gets, that of, like it's so close, but it's not the actual meeting with the Lord. So in Kurukshetra, there are crowds of people, elephants and horses, and also the rattling of chariots. But in Vrindavan, there are flower gardens, and the humming of the bees and chirping of the birds can be heard. Ihan Raja Be Sange Sab Katriyagan, Ihan Gopavesh Sange Murali Badan. Here at Kurukshetra, you are dressed like a royal prince. accompanied by great warriors. But in Vrindavan, you appear just like an ordinary cowherd boy, accompanied only by your beautiful flute. Braje tomar sange jay sukha ashwadan, say sukha samudrer ihan nahi ekhan. Here there is not even a drop of the ocean of happiness that I enjoyed with you in Vrindavan. Amaloya puna lila koraha Vrindavane tabiyamar mano bansha hoy purane. I therefore request you to come to Vrindavan and enjoy pastimes with me. If you do so, my ambition will be fulfilled. And this is really Mahaprabhu's mood in Ratha-yatra. It's an intense mood. Everyone else is dancing, singing, so happy, but Mahaprabhu is also, his strong desire is to take Krishna back to Vrindavan, the mood of Radharani and separation. So that's not always so, one would not be able to understand that were it not for the explanation of Rupa Goswami and Naracharyas, who give us what is the actual mood going on of Mahaprabhu during Ratha-yatra. Bhagavate Ache Jaiche Radhika Bachan Purvitaha Sutra Madhye Korijache Varnan. I've already described in brief Srimati Radharani's statement from Srimad Bhagavatam. Se Baba Beshe Prabhu Pade Arashlok, Se Sab Shlokararta Nahi Buje Lok. In that ecstatic mood, Mahaprabhu recited many other verses, but people in general could not understand their meaning. Swarup Gosai Janina Kohe Artatar Shri Rupa Gosai Koila Se Arta Prachar. The meaning of those verses was not known to, the meaning of those verses was known to Swarup Damodar, but he did not reveal it. However, Shri Rupa Goswami has broadcast the meaning. Swarup Sange Jaha Arta Koryashwada Nritya Madhye Seishlok Korenap Patan. While dancing, Mahaprabhu began to recite the following verse, which he tasted in the association of Swarup Damodar. Ahuschate nalina nava pararavindam yogeshvarar ridi vichintyam agadabodai samsara kupa patito taranavalambam geham jushamapi manasi udiyat sadhana. The gopis spoke thus: Dear Lord, whose navel is just like a lotus flower, your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen into the deep well of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon by great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that these lotus feet may also be awakened within our hearts, although we are only ordinary persons engaged in household affairs. So, what is part of the meaning then of taking Krishna back to Vrindavan? Well, Radharani will say that my heart is Vrindavan. You know, so then she will go on to explain in that mood. She says, Anyara Ridoiman, Muraman Vrindavan, Mane Bane Ek Korejani, Tahan Tomar Paradwaya Koraha Jade Udai, Tabe Tomar Purna Kripamani. Speaking in the mood of Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, For most people, the mind and heart are one, but because my mind is never separated from Vrindavan, I consider my mind and Vrindavan to be one. My mind is already Vrindavan, and since you like Vrindavan, will you please place your lotus feet there? I would deem that your full mercy. May you always be awakened in my mind. Prananat Shunamor Satyav Nibedan Brajamar Saran Tahan Tomara Sangama Napaile Na Rohejivan. My dear Lord, kindly hear my true submission. My home is Vrindavan, and I wish your association there. But if I do not get it, then it will be very difficult for me to keep my life. Purve Udaba Dware Ebe Sakat Amare Joga Gyane Kohila Ubhai Tumi Vidagda Kripa Moy Janha Mara Ridoy Mori Aiche Kohide Najujai. So Krishna sent Uddhava to Vrindavan, and then in the mood of Radharani, Mahaprabhu says, My dear Krishna, formerly, when you were staying in Mathura, you sent Uddhava to teach me speculative knowledge of mystic yoga. Now you yourself are speaking the same thing, but my mind doesn't accept it. There is no place in my mind for Jnana Yoga or Jnana Yoga. Although you know me very well, you are still instructing me in Jnana Yoga and Jnana Yoga. It is not right for you to do so. So, let's see. Jagimars, give us a translation of, in your own words, of this verse, Purve Uddhava Dware, okay, from the book there.
Previously through Uddhava and now directly to me, you are telling me to take up the path of Jnana Yoga. You are very clever and merciful, and you know my heart. So this really is not befitting.
And this is what?
This is not proper. What you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
You know how I feel, and still you are telling me that.
Yeah. So this made Radharani very angry when Uddhava came and said, well, you're always thinking of Krishna, so this will be very good for you, because you, by thinking of the Lord, you'll always get His mercy, and anything wrong or anything inauspicious will be washed away by this thought and everything. And then Radharani was like, why are you instructing us like that? We're always thinking of you, and we're just ordinary people. Why you're instructing us if we're some kind of yogis that this is the right path that we should go on? That's like, then they're saying this is not proper. You know, in other words, there was some anger, right, when Uddhava expressed that. Oh, just always think of Krishna, then He will be with you, and Radharani was kind of like, come on, not so much appreciating that instruction. Chidakade tomahoite vishaye chati lagaite jatna kori nari karibare tare jana sikha koraha logaha shaya mara stana na kora bichare. You have to remember my pronunciation is only approximate. Okay. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, I would like to withdraw my consciousness from you and engage it in material activities. But even though I try, I cannot do so. I am naturally inclined to you only. Your instructions for me to meditate on you are therefore simply ludicrous. In this way, you are killing me. It is not very good for you to think of me as a candidate for your instructions. So Uddhava said, oh, by always thinking of Krishna, then you'll be very much benefited. And Radharani says, you know, why you're instructing like that? Actually, I would not like to remember Krishna. I would like to think of something else, because I'm only getting some, heartache by thinking of Krishna. But if I could think of something else, that might be good for me, but I can't do it. I can't think of anything else. So therefore, she's saying, Uddhava, your instructions, you're instructing me to always think of Krishna. I would like to think of something else, but I can't. So she's like saying this. There's mood of anger in this speaking, right? Nahi gopi yogeshwar parakamala tomar jnana kore paibi santosh tomar vakya paripati taramadye kutinate shuni gopir aram bore rosh. The gopis are not like the mystic yogis. They will never be satisfied simply by meditating on your lotus feet and imitating the so-called yogis. Teaching the gopis about meditation is another kind of duplicity. When they are instructed to undergo mystic yoga practice, they are not at all satisfied. On the contrary, they become more and more angry with you. Deha smriti nahi jar samsara kupa kahantar tahan hoite nachahi urar viraha samudra jale kama tamingile gile gopigane neha tarapar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, the gopis have fallen into the great ocean of separation and are being devoured by the timingila fish of their ambition to serve you. The gopis are to be delivered from the mouths of these timingila fish, for they are pure devotees. Since they have no material conceptions of life, why should they aspire for liberation? The gopis The gopis do not want that liberation desired by yogis and jnanis, for they already liberated from the ocean of material existence. They're not in material existence, and they don't need to be instructed how to get out of material existence. But here Mahaprabhu says they're being devoured by the Timingila fish of their ambition to serve you. So, can you say something about a Timingila fish? Who is a Timingila fish? What is a Timingila fish?
A whale swallower.
Yeah, Timingila fish can swallow whales. They're big fish. They're whale swallowers. So these kind of, it says, the gopis have fallen into the ocean, great ocean of separation, and are being devoured by the Timingila fish of their ambition to serve you. So they're always thinking of Krishna. They don't need to be instructed about how to think of Krishna. In fact, they're even saying, well, if we could think of something else, that might be okay, but we can't. You know. So these are very deep verses. You know, I'm just a what do you call it? What do they call it? A bystander? Someone who watches. I'm watching and hearing these verses. They're very deep, you know. That this is going on in Ratha-yatra, Mahaprabhu is explaining and saying these things, to me is inconceivable. It's inconceivable. If we go to Ratha-yatra, you know, to understand Mahaprabhu's deep sentiments, like he's Mahaprabhu, he's in a whole different, you know, nobody could really understand where Mahaprabhu's at. And I will go so far as to say that, you know, it is Srila Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj that have given us information, really, that gives us some meaning of these verses. You know, because they're deep sentiment, and Guru Maharaj can express this, and anything that Guru Maharaj can express, Govinda Maharaj can also say and explain and add to. So that is, you know, Vrindavana Govardhan, Jamuna Pulinaban, say Kunje, Rasadika Lila, say Brajera, Brajajan, Mata Pita Bandhugan, Borachitra, Kemone Pasharila. It is amazing, again speaking to Krishna, it is amazing that you have forgotten the land of Vrindavan. And how is it you have forgotten your father, mother, and friends? Have you forgotten Govardhan Hill, the bank of the Jamuna, and the forest where you enjoyed the rasa dance? They're like a chastisement, you know, taking Krishna to task, so to speak. Vidanta, Mridu, Sadguna, Sushila, Snigdha Karun, Tumi Tomar, Nahi Doshabas, Tabijay Tomaraman, Nahi Smare Brajajan, Se Amara, Durdaiva Vilas. Krishna, you are certainly a refined gentleman with all good qualities. You are well behaved, soft-hearted, and merciful. I know that there is not even a tinge of fault to be found in you. Yet your mind does not even remember the inhabitants of Vrindavan. This is only my misfortune and nothing else. So, you know, there's really some, you know, complex meaning going on, you know. And this is true, but to say it at the same time, chastising Krishna and then saying, you are a refined gentleman with all good qualities. You are well-behaved, soft-hearted, and merciful. I know that there is not even a tinge of fault to be found in you. Yet your mind does not even remember the inhabitants of Vrindavan. This is only my misfortune and nothing else. And saying, well, if I see any fault, it's not in you, it's actually in me. So it's complex mood. Nagani apanaduk deki brajeshwari muk brajachaner hridaya bidare kibamara brajabasi kiba jial brajayashi kena jial dukkha sahai bare. I do not care for my personal happiness, but when I see the morose face of Mother Yashoda and the hearts of all the inhabitants of Vrindavan breaking because of you, I wonder whether you want to kill them all, or do you want to enliven them by coming there? Why are you simply keeping them alive in a state of suffering? Tomara Jay Anya Vesh, Anya Sangha, Anya Desh, Brajajani Kabuna Hibai, Brajabhumi Chadaitye Nare Tomana Dekile Mare, Brajajaner Ki Habe Upai. The inhabitants of Vrindavan do not want you dressed like a prince, nor do they want you to associate with great warriors in a different country. They cannot leave the land of Vrindavan, and without your presence they are dying. What is their condition to be? Now it's interesting because Srila Guru Maharaj, in the Golden Volcano, he also gives something of a parallel feeling that was expressed by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur when he sees himself as a resident of Navadip, and he's seeing Mahaprabhu dressed as a sannyasi, and he expresses a similar, a kind of a parallel mood. He says to Mahaprabhu, he says, when will you take off the robes of a sannyasi and come back and be with us here in Navadip as a resident of Navadip? There's more. You can say something about that, Vishaka. You know what that refers to, right? Where
what is that verse? What's the first? Amitai Gaur Chande Loite Mai Gaur. I can't remember. I want to see that.
like saying, Bhaktivinoda Singh from the rooftop, saying Mahaprabhu has come back after years. He's come back to visit, and he's in Navadip. Maybe 6 years after he went to, right? He went to South India, and he came back, and he was in Puri for some years, and now something like, is it like 6 years, right? Since he's left Bengal, and he comes back to, he says he's going to Vrindavan, but first he'll go see his mother, he'll go see the Ganga, and he'll go through Bengal. But when he goes through Bengal, suddenly there are millions of people. There's so many people. Guru Maharaj says that all the people were crossing the Ganga, and you couldn't see the water. All you could see was heads. So many people crossing the Ganga to see Mahaprabhu. And then Bhaktivinoda describes himself looking down from a rooftop, and he's seeing Mahaprabhu, and that's his expression, right? And he says, when will you take off the robes of a sannyasi and just be with us as we knew you before, living with the devotees? Because, although there's been some books published with Mahaprabhu when he's sannyas, and he's got a shaved head and all that, but you won't really see that in any of our temples. Those pictures are not generally hanging on the walls. The devotees don't. In fact, generally in our temples, you won't see any pictures hanging on the walls because the general mood the Guru Maharaj has expressed is that there shouldn't be any kind of diversion from just focusing on the deities. But in any event, in any place of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, generally you won't see pictures of Mahaprabhu, as a sannyasi, with his head shaved and everything like that. Nor is he worshipped like that on the altar. We don't have a bald-headed sannyasi Mahaprabhu on the altar. He's dressed, as you see him. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, this is the way we like to think of Mahaprabhu. He's the Lord. He doesn't need to take sannyas. He doesn't need to be renounced. Nityananda Prabhu expressed that by breaking Mahaprabhu's danda and throwing it in the river. So there's some expression of it. Anyways, it's a parallel to this mood of Mahaprabhu expressing here. And as a matter of fact, we want to continue and finish these, this poetic expression. If I don't finish it, it goes on tomorrow, but goes on for a lot of verses here. We have time? I don't think so, right?
One more verse concludes half the dialogue.
Okay.
Ask Jagannath to give his version of that verse we just read, because the Bengali is so sweet, but the English is, you kind of lose something.
Which verse are you?
Anya Sangha, Anya Ve.
Tomare je anya vesh, anya sangha anya desh, braja jani kabu nahi bhai, braja bhumi chadite nare, toma na dekile mare, braja janer ki habe upaya. Here in this version, this translation, the inhabitants of Vrindavan do not want you dressed like a prince, nor do they want you to associate with great warriors in a distant land. They cannot leave the land of Vrindavan, and without your presence they are all dying. What is their condition to be? Okay, you give the Bengali translation.
A little loosely, I would say,
Use this table.
Your other appearance, your other companions, your other place, this does not impress the Brajabasis at all, or this does not strike them well whatsoever. And, how can you leave the land of Braja? You cannot do that. For us, not seeing you, we are dying. So what can the residents of Braja do? They are not impressed by any of this. They don't think it is at all suitable that you have left, and without seeing you, they are dying. So what will they do? How can you leave them in this condition?
That word upai is there. What will be the means of their relief? Isn't it? Or no?
What can they do? It's just like, what are they going to do about this? What hope do they have? What method or means do they have to get out of this? In other words, they don't have one. There's nothing they can do. The only thing that's going to solve this is you coming back.
Yeah. So this is a very, we come to this place today. Yesterday we're reading all about the Ratha-yatra and Mahaprabhu and the cars going on, and it's very happy and everything. Then we get to this part also, and then it's expressing Mahaprabhu's inner yatra, and this is like, and Rupa, as we said, Rupa Goswami has expressed this. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has expressed something of that mood, be a parallel mood with Mahaprabhu himself. Mahaprabhu is expressing the mood of Radharani and how this kind of some anger being expressed towards Krishna, and Bhakti Vinod Thakur is looking on it, and he's expressing a similar feeling, we might say, towards Mahaprabhu himself. Right now, you've taken sannyas, you've left us all here, and there's also a little bit of that feeling. What is to become of us? Right? Yeah.
Ratha-yatra could be done, taking Mahaprabhu from Vidyanagar, right, Maharaj? From Vidyanagar to Mayapur. That Ratha-yatra could be done.
Vidyanagar, okay. But isn't Vidyanagar also considered part of the Dham?
Yes, no, but that's where he went after he took sannyas. When after 5 years, when he went back, that was where he showed himself on the rooftop, and thousands of people, because he didn't really go to Mayapur at that time. He went mainly to Vidyanagar, also to Koladweep.
But Guru Maharaj, he also became angry with some sannyasi who wanted to have Ratha-yatra in Navadvip.
Yes, and so Srila Sridhar said, that Ratha-yatra you cannot do, but this Ratha-yatra you can do.
Okay. He was very annoyed. Guru Maharaj was very much upset about having Ratha-yatra that one of the temples was doing, having Ratha-yatra in Navadvip. He said the whole mood of Ratha-yatra is to take Krishna back to Vrindavan, but Navadvip is Vrindavan, so how can you have Ratha-yatra in Vrindavan? It is like, it is Rasabas. That's what he expressed. It is Rasabas. And anyone who suggests that, they're making an offense to Srila Rupa Goswami. Now, Guru Maharaj is a little, expressing it very strongly. That you're going to have Ratha-yatra in Navadvip, and bring Krishna back to Vrindavan when he's already in Vrindavan, because Navadvip is not different from Vrindavan. So what kind of Ratha-yatra is that? And it made
Guru Maharaj, what can we say, angry. Then somebody said, oh, but our Gurudev did like this. And he said, I don't care what your Gurudev did. He said, I don't care what your Gurudev did. It's not correct. So if you know, and that led to some feeling. But it's all, I'm just mentioning that some things we shouldn't even talk about, but I have a big mouth, so I say things. Anyway, I'm going to stop here. We said that verse. Do we want to say one more verse? Was that what you were saying, Maharaj? No. Okay, I'll read the next verse. Tumi brajer jivan braja rajer pranadan tumi brajera sakala sampad kriparda tomaraman asijia brajajan braja uday karo nijapad. My dear Krishna, you are the life and soul of Vrindavan. You are especially the life of Nanda Maharaj. You are the only opulence in the land of Vrindavan. And you are very merciful. Please come and let all the residents of Vrindavan live. Kindly keep your lotus feet in Vrindavan. Srimati Radharani did not express her personal unhappiness at being separated from Krishna. She wanted to evoke Krishna's feelings for the condition of the others in Vrindavan Dham. Mother Yashoda, Maharaj Nanda, the cowherd boys, the gopis, the birds and bees on the banks of the Jamuna, the water of the Jamuna, the trees, the forest, and all other paraphernalia or personalities associated with Krishna before he left Vrindavan for Mathura. These feelings of Srimati Radharani were manifested by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore he invited Lord Jagannath Krishna to return to Vrindavan. That is the purport of the Ratha-yatra cars going from Jagannath Puri to the Gundicha temple. So that's very nice. Now, yesterday we heard about the Ratha-yatra, but today we're hearing something about what's underlying Ratha-yatra, what's going on, you know. And it even says here that many of the persons, they heard Mahaprabhu singing this verse, Yokomara, that verse of separation, but no one could understand the feelings, what is expressed in that verse, and no one is aware so much of what Mahaprabhu's feelings. That is a whole thing. That Krishnadas Kaviraj can express. And because he can express that, that means that Chaitanya Charitamrita is the supreme literature. Because it's coming, you know, elsewhere, when he's talking about the mood of Madhavendra Puri, he says, and there's Govinda Maharaj expressed, he says that in the verse he quotes, you know, which he says upon leaving, which is compared to, you know, rubbing of the chandan. I'm not going to recite that verse because it's a whole different subject, but there Krishnadas Kaviraj said this feeling, what Mahaprabhu is expressing, he said, only could be understood by three people, right? Three.
Oh, sorry, no fourth person.
No fourth person. So he says it could be understood by Srimati Radharani, she spoke it. And it could be understood by Madhavendra Puri. And it could be understood by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Govinda, and no fourth person. But Srila Govinda Maharaj said, well, maybe fourth person would be Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who's expressing the whole thing. So therefore we say Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's no other literature like Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that is the full expression of our Siddhanta, and more than that is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, you know, this will continue tomorrow. But now we'll go back to what is next on our schedule, our prasadam. Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jaravaya Namah Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jaravaya Namah Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah Namo Beijing Mahananda, Beijing.
Madhusudan Maharaj.
Mahananda, different names for the same person.
A cactus is a cactus by any other name.
Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Jiv Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paramahansa Ashtatara Sada Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paramahansa Ashtatara Sada Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakshira Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunath Shri Shiva Gopal Bhattadashi Raghunath Shadgo Swami Prabhu Vijay Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Harshivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Bhagwat Ki Jai Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Ki Jai Vishwavarenya Srila Bhakti Jai Om Vishnupad Vishwavarenya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhu Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Sri Ram Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Sri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Sri Goladev Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Ki Jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju Ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Dham Ki Jai. Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Ki Jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shrina Shingadev Ki Jai. Bhakta Prabhata Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Sripad Bhakti Chandan Parvat Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Kamal Tyagi Maharaj Ki Jai. Vishaka Devi Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi.
Jai Shri Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj Ki Jai. Go Premanandi.